All right. Of course, as soon as I start recording, this goes down. There it goes. 5-2, interpret systems of equations. This is our second lesson on Unit 5. Again, our first lesson back on Thursday, which is well over, what is that, like 11, 12 days ago now? That was graphing, where you graph two lines, the intersection was the answer. Who wants to read our objective for the day? Ripley, go for it.
Create a system of equations from context and interpret points relative to a system.
There it is. And by the way, today's date is my birthday, November 30th, 2020. I'm officially 28 years old today. Thank you. Oh, happy birthday to you, belated. All right, who wants to read example 1? Ripley, go for it.
Hugo uses a blend of dark chocolate and milk. Blend of milk chocolate and dark chocolate to make the ice cream topping at his restaurant. He needs to buy 100 kilograms of chocolate in total for his next order. Dark chocolate costs $7 per kilogram. Milk chocolate costs $5 per kilogram. And he wants to spend 560 in total. Let D represent the number of kilograms of dark chocolate he buys and M the number of kilograms of milk chocolate he buys. Which system of equation represents this situation?
There it is. There's a lot of information happening there. And to help you sort through that, my general advice, if there's too much information, is sort everything based off of units. So if I'm looking through this problem, I see kg, I see kilogram, I see kilograms. Okay, so kilograms is very clearly one of the units of measure. So let's go ahead and make an equation that is for kilograms. So I'll label this first equation. I can zoom in here a little bit. Kilograms. Oh gosh, and then my computer freezes. Please work. There it goes. Kilograms. And then I might as well find my other unit. My other unit, I'm looking through here, I see money. And yeah, I think the next one should just be money. I'll title this one money. So an equation for each unit. All right, so kilograms is the easiest equation, and don't overthink it. So any number that is related to kilograms. Obviously, we need to use variables M and D because M and D is the number of kilograms for dark chocolate and milk chocolate. What are we going to do here? Yeah, Ripley? 100 kilograms, yeah. So let's go ahead and maybe I can do them color-coded. So kilograms, we're using this 100 somewhere. So I don't know. I'm just going to put 100 somewhere in the middle-ish. That way you can do an equation on the left or the right of it. I'll probably say on the left of it. So, and it says Ugo needs to buy 100 kilograms in total. So that's the total amount. Well, what two things should add to 100? Look at your variables. Do we need to convert the variables at all, or can we just add them and be done with it? Reread this last paragraph on your own. Let D be the number. Reread that right now. Okay, so you've reread it now, at least that first sentence. So it's already in kilograms. So what do? Somehow we're going to use D and M. Do we need to put numbers in front of them? Do we just add them? Do we multiply them? Do we subtract them? Tell me what to do. Ashley? Sorry, can you say that a little bit louder? I heard put 7 in front of the D maybe. Is that what you said? Okay, you're really close. So if you said 7 in front of the D, what you're saying here, 7D, this means dark chocolate, right? I can't spell chocolate, is going to cost $7. which means our unit now has been converted from kilograms into money, which is perfect for this equation down here for money if we needed to convert it. But we also, yeah, we want to keep it even simpler than that. Is it okay if I call him Haiti, Ashley? Yeah, go for it, Haiti. There it is, D plus M. Why? What do you mean by that? Can someone else explain why it's just D plus M? Ashley? Not quite the spending, because spending is about the money, right? But it is the total, like I'm going to use your word total. It is the total amount that we need for the kilograms, right? Why is it D and not 7D? I guess is the question that I'm asking the class. And oh yeah, Jose? Multiplied by the total? What do you mean by that? So if we multiply by cost, then it turns into money. But why is it just a normal D instead of a 7D? Go for it again. One number, yeah. And I guess another way of seeing it too is like, this says D is kilograms. We have the correct unit. No further conversion is necessary. If we want to put D down here, we can't say kilograms. We need to say money. We need to multiply it by some number that means, hey, we're not in kilograms, we are in money. So down here, we're going to use Ashley's 7D to say, hey, it costs $7 per each kilogram of dark chocolate. So we have the correct equation down here. I'm going to use Ashley's 7D as the first part of our equation for money. We have now converted from kilograms into money. This is a unit of money. And I can't just put M because that's in kilograms. I need to also convert that into money. How? It's not just M, it's something with an M. I see 2 hands, 3 hands. Yeah, Zeke?
5M.
5M, why?
Because like it's $5 per kilogram, and M is a kilogram.
There it is. Yeah. Yep, for the milk chocolate, perfect. And then what is this going to add up to? Someone else? Jose? There it is, 560. Every single unit here is money. $7 per kilogram, $5 per kilogram, $560. And then we choose the right answer. So it looks like the correct answer here is D. That's the equations that match up with our 2 equations. Oh, Carlos is here. Carlos, hello.
Hello.
All right, we are on to example number 2 then. All right, a quicker read. Who wants to try it? Read for me, please. Braden, please read for me. There it is, thank you. All right, so we're gonna get 2 equations from that. Whenever you see the word is, and I'm gonna underline this, is, that means equal to. If you ever see is, oh, I see an is over here, that means equal to. There are 2 equations. So you can see the first equation is gonna come from this part. Eamon is 8 years younger than Jade. That's one equation. The second equation is Jade is 2 times older than Eamon. So I need someone to make one equation. And this one has both of the units the same. It's age, 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 years, 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 age, age, age. It's the same units. So we can't separate by units. You just have to go by how the sentence works. All right, I need some help. Obviously, I can't say Amen. Amen has to be converted into something else. What is Amen as a variable? With the choir stand. Yeah, Jose. E. All right, so our new equation looks like this. E equals, now how do I say 8 years younger than Jade? And we have to be careful about that wording. We have to be very careful. We can't just say 8 minus something. Braden? -8. And then years is already, we assume that everything is in years. But you're correct. You could say -8. And then what about Jade? Yeah. Or you're not. So if you just say plus the J, then you'd be correct. And most people would probably write this J -8, but -8 plus J is also correct. So this can be rewritten one of two ways. This way is correct. And you could have also written E is equal to J -8. 8 years younger than Jade. And make sure that your equation makes sense, right? So if I look at Eamon's age, this E variable should be 8 less than J. If I take this number J, subtract 8, that is E. E should be younger than J. That makes sense. Eamon is 8 years younger than J. So our first equation is good. Second equation, Jade is 2 times older than Eamon. How do I do that? How do I convert that into an equation? Well, convert Jade. Diego, convert Jade. Jade is J. There it is. So I say J is equal to, and I say 2 times older than Eamon. How do I do that? Giorgio, you want to give it a shot? 2 times older than Eamon. How do I say that with an equation?
J is equal to 2E.
2 times E. Yeah, there it is. Or 2E. All right, and then we just need to select the correct equation. So where is that? J -8. Oh, it looks like D again. All right. Can you guys give me a fist of 5 on how well you're following up to now? I'm getting 2s, 3s, 4, 4. Where are these people at? 4, 4, 3, 4-ish. Giorgio's at a 5. Okay. I know Carlos came in a little bit late. That'll be a little bit harder to catch up. All right. And then we have our final example, example 3, which can be pretty confusing because our axes down here are not just X and Y. It's not time and dollars. It's just a unit of, like, what are you talking about? Yellow or white, right? For your flower. All right, I need another voice, another reader. Ripley again.
Larissa uses a blend of white corn and yellow corn to make tortilla chips at her restaurant. She needs to buy 40 kilograms of corn total for her next order. White corn costs 40 cents per kilogram. Yellow corn costs 30 cents per kilogram. She wants to spend 15 in total. Here's a graph that shows a system of equations for the scenario where X is the amount of white corn she buys and Y is the amount of yellow corn she buys.
There it is. So we have this fancy looking graph down here. And the hard question now is, what does this point D represent? So everyone can see it, right? The D is on the top left up here. It's the position 5, 35. What does that point represent? And by the way, on Khan Academy, they'll put a point randomly out into space in the top right, randomly spaced at the bottom left, randomly on one of these lines, maybe the intersection of the lines. Every single one of those points has a different interpretation. This is just one problem. I'm going to modify it in a sec to see if we can get it to something else. All right, so D is clearly on this blue line. The blue line is X plus Y is equal to 40. Look back to the problem. What does X plus Y is equal to 40 mean in the context of the problem? Katie?
X is the amount of rice corn divided by the amount of corn.
Yeah, so it's the amount of corn. That's the unit. And you can see 40 matches with this 40, which is amount of corn. It's the weight of the corn. So Haiti has told us this is the amount of corn or the weight of the corn. So that we are on this blue line. What does it mean to be on the line again? I talked about it 11 days ago on Thursday. What does it mean to be on a line? And then to help you with that, let's go ahead and look at our answers. So what could D represent? This means that Larissa spends the intended amount of money and buys the intended amount of corn. That means you hit both conditions. Or maybe Larissa spends the intended amount of money, but more than the intended amount of corn. So she spent too much money on the corn. Or maybe she spends less than the intended amount of money and buys the correct amount of corn. Or maybe she spends less than the amount of money and less than the amount of corn. How much money did she spend? This is all about money.
This is enough.
Yes.
On B.
Okay. Yep. Good job. I need to fix these. Let me make them bigger.
Oh, this is I think I saw another one.
Yeah, where is it?
I forgot what it's called. But the equation on the 0.50, it should be 0.40 top left.
Oh yeah, nice. Good catch. Yeah, each of those are extra credit. I need to catch those for next year. Sorry. All right, so let me zoom out a little bit so we can see the graph and these questions. All right, so if we're on the line, that means that we are a solution. If I have at any point on this line, that means I have solved, or it is a solution to the amount of corn. That means I have the correct amount of corn, or Larissa in this case has the correct amount of corn. If I'm on this green line, if I'm a point on that green line, this represents price, if I have the equation correct, as Giorgio pointed out. But if I was any point on the green line, that would mean I spent the correct amount of money. So because we are on the blue line, but not on the green line, that means we have the correct amount of corn, but not the correct amount of money. In fact, you can see if I just drew a line right here, I know too many lines, right? But if I just have my hand as a level, you can see that this point is definitely underneath this green line. It's not above it, it's below it. So let's read our possibilities again. Someone's wishing me happy birthday. Okay. Larissa spends the intended amount of money and buys the intended amount of corn. That's not true. She did not spend the intended amount of money because she's not on that green line. We can eliminate A. A is not a solution. What about B? She spends the intended amount of money. Well, no, we just told you guys she did not spend the intended amount of money. So let's cross off B right from the beginning. She's not on that blue line. The blue line, and maybe we can write this down. The blue line is the, we can say amount of corn, I think is how Haiti said that, is the amount. And this green line is the money. How much money did she spend? If you're on that line, that means you've solved it. She's not on the green line, so anything that's talking about money is incorrect if she spent the intended amount. But look at C and D. C and D are both saying she spent less than. She spent less than, and that's true. It's underneath the correct value. It should be up here, and it's under that value. So she did spend less than the intended amount of money. So both of those first parts of the sentences are correct. Let's read the second half of these sentences. And buys the correct amount of corn or buys less than the amount of corn? What do you guys think? Did she buy the correct amount of corn or did she not buy enough corn? I'll give you guys some time to think. And be ready to explain your answers. Ripley?
Wouldn't she buy the less than enough though?
What?
There's the line. Wait, is the line money? The green line?
Green one is money.
Yeah. And then yeah. Well, I guess it's the correct amount because it's on the line.
On which line?
The blue line.
Yes, it's on the blue line, so it is the correct amount. That's the analysis, done. It's on the blue line, it's the correct amount, so the correct answer here is C. It is the correct amount of corn. It's on the blue line. Okay, well, let's go ahead and maybe let's change the label here from D to C, because that was the answer for C. What happens, can we draw a point that represents A? A is saying Larissa spends the intended amount of money and buys the intended amount of corn. That solved both of the lines. Where would this point be drawn? Where is it? Again, if it's the intended amount of money, that has to be on the blue line. If it's the intended amount of corn, it has to be on the green line. If I'm on both lines, where am I? Ripley?
The intersection of lines.
The intersection of the lines. So let's go ahead and draw a point up here that says A. This would be the answer if A was the answer. So, or this would be the point if this was the point, A would be the answer, I should say. What about B? What happened for B? Larissa spends the intended amount of money. So she's on the money line, she's on the green line, but she buys more than the intended amount of corn. Where would that be? So she needs to be on the blue line, sorry, on the green line, because she spent the correct amount of money. Green is money, but she needs to be above the amount line. She needs to be above the blue line. So where is above the blue line, but on the green line? Sorry, everyone, I can't someone else, but thank you. Circle the general region, or just put a random point somewhere. Where would B go? I told everyone, it's going to be on the green line, somewhere. But where? It has to be above the blue line. The only region that is above the blue line is where? Come on, help me out. Ripley again, yeah.
It's would it be at 50?
At 50, what do you mean?
Like, would the point be at 50?
50?
No, other way.
50? So right there?
Yeah.
That worked out. Anywhere up here. Anywhere from the intersection to the left. All of this region right here, that is an answer. I could have put a point here, here, anywhere on that line. That would have been a solution because it's above the blue line and it's on the green line. So I can put B. I could put B here. I could put B here. I could put B here. All of those would be solutions for B, anywhere on that line. We already know where C is. And then what about D? Larissa spends less than the intended amount of money and buys less than the amount of corn, which means I'm not on either line. She did not buy the exact amount. She did not buy enough money amount. She's not on either one of these lines. But where? Less than the money, so she's underneath the green line, and less than the corn, so she's also underneath the blue line. Where is a point that is underneath both of these lines? And you should be able to just point on your paper and say right there. There's quite a big region. That's one region. Yeah, everyone point to your own region, and then we'll write our summaries. That one's above this line because it's above, yeah, so anywhere in this region. Point to your region. Yep, you got it. Anywhere over there. So like right there, there, yeah, somewhere. And I'll have to be underneath both ones. So underneath both ones. Yep, good. There, yes. Put it under both of them. Under both of them would be there.
Oh, under both of them would be right here.
Exactly, yep. Exactly. I mean, if you don't buy everything, yes, you're definitely correct. Generally, anything in that region can work. Yeah. And just to make sure I get it recorded and Carlos can hear me as well, anywhere in this region right here works because that is underneath both lines. If I'm in this region right here, I'm actually above the green line. If I'm in this region right here, I'm above the blue line. So in order to be beneath both of the lines, I have to be in this region right here. So I can say this point right here could be D. D. All right, and that concludes our notes. And of course, the projector's being all weird.